But Cardi B is going to marry us.
Oh, that's great. Cardi B.
Wedding,
with her WAP, right? Isn't that the WAP girl, right? The wet ass. Oh, yeah. She's going to marry us. Oh, I'm sure your auntie and aunties and everybody's just going to love that.
She's going to open up and slip
Right,
and slide down the aisle.
Is she going to bring the flood with her? Tell your aunties and aunties to bring a fucking mop. It's going to get wet up in here. Fuck out of here with this shit. My name is Dwight Gillespie, and this is Trash TV Review. And today, we're going to review some trash. This is actually from The Daily Show. And yeah, I'm only doing this because I don't do politics too much. But, you know, I saw this clip. And this is, again, it's not my political opinion. This is just ridiculous. And this is how ridiculous politics has gotten. And I got to be honest with you. I think all politics is ridiculous. I don't follow either party. Well, I don't want to say I don't vote. I have voted in the past. I used to be an ardent voter. I believed that if you didn't vote, you know, you were part of the problem and everything. I live in New York City. And if I want to vote on the left, it doesn't matter. There's plenty of people picking up the slack. If I want to vote on the right, it doesn't matter because you're never going to win anyway. So I justify it that way. But I came across this, and this made me laugh out loud because this is just so ridiculous. I said, we got to talk about this. This is Joe Biden with, you say this is, what's his name? It says here it's Kal Penn, but it's Kumar from Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
We know him as Kumar,
right,
trying to get to White Castle.
Right. And this whole thing to me is hysterical because it's all bullshit. And I'm almost hoping that it's just the Daily Show doing a parody of something, right? Because this is where Stephen Colbert got his start and everything, back when Stephen Colbert was actually funny, you know, and he used to do satire and he doesn't anymore. Now he's just a shill for the left. And yeah, it's just a shame. And so anyway, they're talking about same-sex marriage, and this is Joe Biden's epiphany. And this is I laughed out loud listening to this psycho babble. Right. So here we go.
I wanted to ask you a slightly different question. So my partner Josh and I have been engaged for the last 5 years, which really
ridiculous. All right. First of all, and not that he's with a guy named Josh. I don't care about him and Josh being together. Right. Why are you engaged for 5 years? Why is that's my fiance. Get married for fuck's sake, or just don't call it your fiance.
Should I get off the pot?
Right, exactly. And I have to be honest. I am in support of same-sex marriage. I don't understand what the big deal ever was, and I'll go even further than that. I don't understand how if there's a separation of church and state, how an organization can say, well, because of God that we you can't do this. That doesn't seem right. Anyway, but that's me, and I'm a fairly conservative guy, so that doesn't bother me. But this guy just wants to tell you exactly what all of his victim status, right? I'm gay, I'm brown, and he's going to tell you soon I'm in an interracial, relationship. So he's just like checking off box after box after box, right? So here we go. Here he's going to tell his partner Josh of 5 years, not getting married.
Only means that every auntie and uncle that I have is beyond disappointed that there hasn't been a wedding yet. But
oh yeah, that's where the disappointment comes from. I'm sure it's because you haven't gotten married yet. Listen, dude, he's Indian, right? Now I live close to Richmond Hill, and I'm familiar with it here. I don't think that his family's biggest problem is the fact that he's not married. I'm gonna guess that it has a lot more to do with Josh than anything else. But anyway, what do I know? I digress.
But Cardi B is going to marry us.
Oh, that's great. Cardi B with her WAP, right? Isn't that the WAP girl, right? The wet ass. Oh, yeah. She's going to marry us. Oh, I'm sure your auntie and aunties and everybody's just going to love that.
She's going to open up and slip
right,
and slide down the aisle.
Is she going to bring the flood with her? Tell your aunties and aunties to bring a fucking mop. It's going to get wet up in here. Fuck out of here with this shit.
Which would be nice. But my question for you, Mr. President, is...
Mr. President, this is what you're talking to the President of the United States about. Cardi B. And Biden's got, is that the black one that I did the interview with before the election from my basement? Is that the one? Oh, she had a big caboose. Choo-choo. Okay, here we go. Here's this question.
You codified support for same-sex marriage and interracial marriages like ours. I'm curious what
I'm sure his parents are just thrilled to no end. Notice he didn't mention his parents, by the way. His aunties are okay with it. The parents, he didn't say nothing about them.
It said that he comes from Hindu Indian parents.
Hindu, Indian, oh yeah, I'm sure they're just fucking thrilled. Oh yeah. Now, he didn't become a doctor, and he's marrying a dude, and a white dude at that. Yeah, they're thrilled. Is Josh at least a doctor? Okay, here we go. Same-sex marriage. Here's Joe's answer to this wonderful question.
your evolution was like on marriage equality.
His
And
evolution on marriage equality. Yeah, okay. Which we're gonna get into, by the way. We pulled up a few things about Daddy Joe's evolution.
what the federal government might be able to do to protect LGBTQ Americans, especially trans kids who are dealing with all these regressive state laws that are popping up right now.
Regressive state laws. Look, nothing for nothing. Listen, if you're under 18, you should not. That's just another thing, right? I don't look. Thank God I'm not being held to task for the ideas I had about myself and society when I was 16. Like, you call these regressive laws. I don't know. Do you really want to be held accountable and make such life-changing decisions? And I did. Like, drugs were a decision I made. I was making very adult decisions before I was old enough to make them. And it really, really, really hurt my life, right? Because I had little parental guidance or anything like this. And these decisions I made really hurt my life. You want to go letting these kids cut off their genitalia before they've even had an experience to use them because they think, I don't know a 16-year-old who feels comfortable in their body. Like, regressive. Okay. I call them protectionary, right? Like seatbelt laws, right? Are seatbelt laws fair? Why should I have to wear a seatbelt? Well, so you don't get hurt, right? Well, but it's my body. I should be able to get, if I don't want to wear a seatbelt, why are you fining me if I don't? Because that's actually an insurance company.
I can remember exactly
Yeah,
where
this is
my
great.
epiphany was.
Okay.
Epiphany.
I hadn't thought
My epiphany. One of them. I had several. I think I'm having an epiphany right now. Oh, that was a good epiphany.
much
I think I stole that from South Park. It's something along those lines. Anyway, it's in my head. All right.
about it, to tell you the truth. And I was a senior in high school.
1961. I looked it up. 1961. He's a senior in high school in Delaware. Okay. Go ahead, Mr. President. Tell us the rest.
And my dad was dropping me off. I remember about to get
Dropping him off where? Because he's going to say something about the business. He's in the business district. And anyway, I don't know where the fuck it was this high school that he was going to. Anyway.
out of the car, and I looked to my right, and two well-dressed men in suits kissed each other.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they gave each other a kiss.
Kiss.
And then one looked like he was heading to the DuPont building.
The DuPont building, which is a high-end office building, right? Because don't forget, even back then, Delaware was smart enough, right? He comes from a state where there's no corporate taxes. You don't get charged corporate taxes. So so many huge corporations are headquartered in Delaware because of that, because they don't have to pay any taxes, any corporate taxes. So go ahead. So one's going to the DuPont building.
One looked like he headed to the Hercules Corporation.
Hercules Corporation. So two big corporate entities, right? Now, here we are. Now, I want you to picture this, folks. I want you to picture this, regardless of what his idiot father says, right? It's 1961. I had an uncle, my Uncle Ati. He was with my Uncle George. They worked for, I believe, it was the Metropolitan Opera House, right? And they didn't come out, right? Because of how dangerous it was for men to come out at that time. And Ati and George were together for 40 years before Ati died. This is a fantasy. This can't happen. This is just ridiculous. This never happened, because two guys like that, and not that they weren't in love and that the men didn't find love. It would have been career suicide. Two well-dressed men getting in, like kissing. No. I call bullshit. This is absolute pure bullshit. And anybody who gives it any time or any credence, it's just bullshit, which means that everything that comes out of his mouth, I have to take into question. It's all bullshit. There's no way. This man can't remember 1961. Please. This is a fan. Hey, my father said. Now we're going to get into the rest of this, okay? So here we go.
And I'll never forget, I turned to look to my dad.
Dad, two f***s are kissing. What's going on? Is that okay? So it is okay that you kiss me, huh, Dad? Yeah. What the fuck? The fuck? Hey, Dad.
Joey, it's simple. They love each other.
Joey, it's simple. They love each other.
Simple. No, I'm not joking.
I'm not joking. I'm not joking. No, this isn't a joke. It's pure fantasy. Fantasies aren't always jokes. Now look, he's got to know this is bullshit. Now, this is the Daily Show they did this on. So I'm hoping it's just satire, right? Because it's insanity. Now, we're going to look at the rest of this, right? I don't even need to look at this shit, right? Let's go over here because I found this story, all right? Now, here we go. And let's talk about this. Now, the story recounted in an interview with an actor, Kaplan Modi, whatever, implausible. Biden was a senior in high school in 1961. His father was born in 1915. Gay sex, much less gay marriage, was not protected by the Supreme Court until 2003, right? Which it reversed a previous decision handed down in 1986 when Biden was serving his third Senate term. Okay, now I want to skip down here a little bit, right? By the time most Democrats supported gay marriage and the Supreme Court ruling declared it a constitutional right was a little over 2 years away. Public support for same-sex marriage hit 60% in the Gallup poll the month before that. It doesn't really matter. I don't care about that. Biden voted for the Defense of Marriage Act as a senator from Delaware in 1996. All right, no longer a senior in high school. Apparently, the epiphany went away, right? It prevented the federal recognition of same-sex marriages and allowed states to deny recognition of same-sex marriages performed in other states without running afoul of the full faith and credit clause of the U.S. Constitution. This man voted against gay marriage, right? That was the marriage defense, and he supported it. He didn't start supporting same-sex marriage until he was running for his second term as vice president of the United States.